how we're going to start with doing a sloper. So this video is supposed to show you how to do it in pencil on paper, and you have the instructions. They are going to be posted on Blackboard, and of course this class got them in hand. So we're going to get started. We're going to get started with the sample measurements that are in the instructions. After you've done all your 8 measurements, you want to go ahead and begin with where it says draw a rectangle. So the first thing is you draw a length A, B, C, D, and then you have to draw the lines in between. That's AC and BD. So first it tells you to measure the back nape to waist measurement plus the depth of the bust dart. The depth of the bust dart is going to be on the chart before it. For this example, since we're using a 36-inch bust, we're going to use an inch depth bust dart. So that means I'm going to make something that is the length of the back to nape measurement, which is here, back to nape, 16 inches plus 1 inch. So we're going to make it 17 inches. So I'm going to just start drawing a line. I'm going to start drawing a line on this side of the page, on the right side, and then we'll move to the other. Now the problem with I'm just going to draw a line. Now I'm going to figure out where 17 inches is. I'm going to find a spot, find where 17 is, and I'll mark my 17. Now, in order to find this direction, see, I can't just randomly draw another line on this side. I have to find out what this measurement is going across as well. So we're going to move ahead in the instructions and go to the next thing that it says. What does it say? This is where you can help me read. Length of AC, BD.
The length of AC and BD is 1/2 of the total bust measurement, so plus half.
Plus half inch.
So half of 36, you'll be doing 18.5 inches for AC.
18.5.
And BD.
So that's when I pull out this right angle. Thank you. And I'm going to go, since this I know is my C point, I'm going to make this edge stay straight with that line. I'm going to put my corner right there at my mark. And I'm going to go this way, if I can see that. Yep. 18.5 inches. Mm-hmm. That is A. Okay. Then I can take my angle and go down from that point. And again, you're going to try to be as straight as possible. And come down. What was it? 18 inches? No, it was 18 on this side.
Oh.
And that should, and then you can just go ahead and finish up your rectangle. Is that right?
I thought it was 17.
Yours is 17. Okay. Thank you for the correction. That's why it doesn't work. It was crooked. So, and I'm just, using the edge, matching my 2 points. And there I go. I got A, B, C, D. That's the first thing you have to do. Then can you keep going with this one, Quinae?
Add construction lines there.
Yeah.
Divide AC and BD in half and draw a vertical line EF.
Divide
AC and BD
D in half.
And draw a vertical line EF.
Okay. So if it's 18.5, what's that, 9 1/4? Mm-hmm. And it should be 9 1/4 here, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and mark 9 1/4. Just makes it easier to match dots. So I'm going to divide it in half. And then this is E.
Yeah.
And this is F. All I'm doing is following the instructions.
Everybody's just going to be the same size, right?
No.
It's your measurement.
It's your measurements.
From points A and C, measure down 1/4 of the back nape
And C.
to waist measurement. So from points A and C, measure down 1/4 of the back nape to waist measurement.
Back nape to waist measurement is 16 1/4 of that, and that's why it says if you can't do it, the 16 what? That's 8. That's 4 inches. 1/4, 4 inches. So from this is 4 inches. 4 inches here, I'm actually gonna just using 4 inches.
Connect these 2 points forming a horizontal line, GH.
And that's all the way across, right?
Yes.
G?
GH is the front and back width line.
Okay. Did I do that right? Back neck to waist, 16 divided by, yeah, that's right. Okay. Just want to check. What's the next one?
From points G and H, did you get G and H? Okay, yeah. From points G and H, measure down the same distance, again, 1/4 of the back nape to waist measurement.
1/4. Back neck
Connect
to-
these 2 points forming a horizontal line, that's IJ.
Okay. So I'm going to. This is I. This is J. What's next?
Now the front and back of the female body block can be drafted. You must begin with the front section.
Okay.
3 inches to the left and 1/2 inch up from C, mark K.
3 inches to the left. I'm going to use this smaller ruler because sometimes these bigger rulers are just a big hassle. So 3 inches to the left.
To the left and 1/2 inch up from C.
Okay, so I got 3 inches here, but I got to go 1/2 inch up. So that's where these clear rulers actually come in handy. I can just see my line right here. 1/2 inch above this top line and 3 inches to the left of C.
And that's K.
This is K.
Now 3 inches down from K is going to be L, mark L.
Okay, so I'm going to keep, since we already know that's 3 inches, I'm going to go, I know that this is a 2-inch ruler, but I just wanted to get my straight edge there. I'm going to mark down to 3.
And it's going to be L.
This is going to be L.
Now 2.5 inches down from C, you'll mark M.
Man, 2.5 inches down.
From C,
2.5 inches.
you'll mark M.
And we're supposed to connect these, aren't we?
Yep, connect K to L and L to M.
Which I had already kind of done. Okay.
With straight lines, then draw the neck curve from
Okay.
K to M.
That is where I have to use either a French curve or an arm's eye ruler or something. This is called what we call a hip curve. And you can just make sure that that top of that what is that, K mark? You have a connection with that curve going around to M.
Yeah, from
And,
K to M.
right. And this will be your neck line. So you're not really going to cut this. You're going to cut here. Because it's not real straight, but that's okay. Got it? All right.
So
Now,
1 3/8 inch below the EC line, draw a horizontal line. Horizontal dotted line.
how much? 1 and
1 3/8 below the
3/8.
E
Okay.
and C
Again,
line.
I can use this little ruler to help me make that line. It's just a dashed line across it. And what we're going to do is line something else up to it. So you got a dashed line. Now what?
Draw front shoulder line by placing a ruler with one end on K and angling it to hit the dotted line at exactly the neck to shoulder measurement.
Okay, our neck to shoulder on the sample is 4.5 inches. So I'm going to find 4.5 on this ruler, which is right here. And I'm going to put 4.5 on K. And I'm going to swing this little ruler down to where 0 touches that dashed line. And when I find that ruler, I'm going to go ahead and put this down like this. And that right there is my shoulder.
Says mark N at this point and join K to N with a straight line.
Okay. All right.
Now we're on the armhole.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Mark O on the IJ line at the point where it crosses the EF
Right.
line.
This is right here. This little intersection right there is O. Okay.
O is the base of the armhole to the left of H. Measure half the front width measurement and mark P.
Front width is 12 inches, so half of 12 is 6. So again, I'm going to take my handy dandy little ruler and I'm going to go here and mark 6 inches in, and I'm marking this P, right? And then I'm connecting N to P with a straight line.
NP to O with a curve.
P to O with a curve. Now, this one's always a little tricky because you have to try to find the... This is where you always have to make adjustments when you have a... Oops, it was moved on me. You don't really want a point there, so most likely you're going to have to just kind of adjust it. And I forgot, where's my little eraser? There we go. Okay. You know, that one was a little bit, I think, which one was the one that connected? This is the inside one that connected. Again, keep your little eraser around because you're going to need it. That's the one that connected. Okay, and then just true out those points. Okay, ready to go to the next one.
Okay, so it says the waist now.
Mm-hmm.
To the left of D, measure 1/4 of the total waist measurement plus 1/4 of an inch
So we've got 24,
plus the width of the front waist dart and mark Q.
12, that's 6, plus the width of the waist dart.
Yeah.
So that's where we got to go back to this chart in the front of your instructions, and it says waist dart. If I've got a 6, the difference between my waist and my bust is what's that? 6, 12. So wow, it's 1.5 inches. So it says to add 1.5 inches to it.
It says total waist measurement plus 1/4 of an inch plus the width of the front waist dart, mark Q.
So that's 7.5, right? 7.5. Mark it Q. Okay, this is Q.
Sorry, it gives an example. Okay, so bust point line to the left of V. Measure in half the total bust point to bust point measurement and draw a vertical line up to the OJ line.
What's my bust point? The bust point is 7.5, so that's 3.5, 3 5/8. So I have to go here, and I'm just going to use this one, and you just draw a dashed line to get it settled. Okay.
Find the center of the shoulder line, KN, and mark R.
So we know this was 4.5, so it's like 2 1/4. And we mark it R.
Place a ruler with one end on R and angle it so that it hits the line. Just draw in the draw in exactly
Okay.
the shoulder to bust point measurement.
What's our
This
shoulder
is
to
S.
bust point? Was 9. So I'm going to angle this ruler. I'm going to keep it at 0 on one end, and the other end has to angle till it touches that line that we just drew down here, and I've got it there right now. So okay.
Says this is S, the bust point.
Okay. This right here is S.
Draw a dotted line horizontal to OJ out to the lines E, F, and CD. This is the bust point line.
Okay. That is what they want you to do, is to do a dashed line. I'm trying to get it even. Looks like it's like 1 inch, which is pretty much close to where it's supposed to be. Just out to the EF line, right?
Horizontal to OJ out to lines E, F, and CD.
Okay.
This is the bust point line.
Okay.
To the left of the bust point line, toward the EF line, measure 1/2 an inch from the bust point and mark T for the point of this bust dart. Of the bust dart.
So, T.
On the EF line, measure down from the bust point line the total depth of the bust dart
Which we
and
said
mark
was-
it U.
What's the depth of bust start? Was 1.5 inches. Yeah, go ahead. For 36-inch bust was, can't see it, 1 inch. Okay. All right, so we're marking 1 inch. And then what's that?
Total depth of the bust. start. Mark
Oh.
it U.
Oh, I'm sorry, can you read those instructions again?
On the EF line, measure down from the bust point line the
Okay.
total depth of the
All right.
bust dart and mark it U.
U, okay.
Connect T and U
Connect
with a straight line.
T and U,
This is the center line of the bust dart.
okay. Then,
On E and F line, measure out 1/2 the total bust dart depth on each side of U.
so it was 1 inch, right? And then it was, gonna be 1/2 inch.
Yeah, on EF line.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that one. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, that was supposed to be a dash line. Whoops. Eraser. It's a dash line now. Okay. Okay. So it's telling you, say that again? Trying to
Which one? The
understand.
T and U?
No,
Connect T and U
after
with the
T
straight
and
line.
U.
Okay. On the EF line, measure
Yeah.
out 1/2 the total bust dart depth on each side of U.
On each side of
So
you.
on the EF line, measure out 1/2 the
Okay.
total bust dart depth on each side
Okay.
of U. Connect each of these marks with the bust dart point to complete the dart.
Okay. This is the thing that the guys get to skip. Okay.
Side seams says measure the length of the top line of the
Okay.
bust dart.
Now we're measuring the top line of the bust dart to that T to U, not above the T, the first line above it. It looks like it is 4 7/8, and so I'm going to pivot this around and measure 4 7/8 on the bottom of that bottom dart line. Notice that bottom line is longer, and that's why they make you do this, because now we're going to connect that line to Q, correct?
Same length on the bottom, the line of the bust dart, mark V.
Uh-huh.
Connect V to Q with a straight line, completing the side seam. Connect
Okay.
V to U.
Okay.
So V to Q and V to U.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it says. Okay, waist dart.
Mm-hmm.
The center line for the waist dart has already been determined. On this line, measure down 1 inch from the bust point S
And,
toward
okay. What's my bust dart?
Isn't it 1 inch? Waist.
the bust point
Was-
S.
Okay, and then at the bottom you're gonna measure out the to either side half of the waist dart measurement.
It doesn't say that. It
Well,
just says
I'm pretty
I
sure
measure
that's what it
down
is.
1 inch from bust point S
Yeah.
toward BD line
Okay.
and mark W for the
Okay.
point of the waist dart.
Okay, and then you actually just at the bottom of that line, half on each side. I've done this. That's why. You just measure out from that point to the end. And you basically completed your sloper. Do you see it?
So that's in half an inch?
This is
Oh, it says on the back. It says on the BD line on either side of the place.
right.
Full,
So
waist
on either
dart,
side,
falls
and then
mark half
you're
the
done.
total dart waist.
And you can mark this bodice front. Guess what we get to do? We get to go work on this other side because this other side is our back. Okay. So we're actually not far from being done.
Yeah,
All right. Where's the back?
Back section. It says the neck, so 2.5 inches to the right of A,
Mm-hmm.
2.5 inches to the right of A, and 1/2 inch up,
Half an inch up.
mark AA. So 2.5 inches.
Okay, I got
to the
that.
right. 1/2 inch up, mark AA. Connect A and AA with a slight curve.
Okay.
This is the back neck.
All right. This isn't much of anything here, but we're gonna connect it. All right. There you got your back neck.
Now to the right of G, to
Right.
measure half the total back width and mark BB.
Half the total back width. Back width 13. That is
6.5.
6.5, right? GG. Mark 6.5 out.
You're gonna mark B to the right of G. Measure half the total back width and mark BB.
Okay. BB.
Then 3 inches up from BB, mark CC.
3 inches up from BB. I'm gonna mark
CC.
CC.
Place one end of the ruler at AA and angle it so that it passes through CC. Draw a line from AA towards CC that is the length of the neck to the shoulder measurement, plus
Which is
1/2 an inch. I'm sorry, 1/2 an inch.
4.5, 5. So here, this is the end of our shoulder.
Mark DD.
DD.
AD, I'm sorry, AA
Okay.
and DD may
Okay,
be longer or shorter.
that's fine.
Um,
And you connect DD to BB with a straight line?
is this at the bottom? Am I supposed to tell you this? The back shoulder is having its longer than the
No.
front shoulder?
Just give me the instructions and how to
Okay,
do
it says armhole now.
it.
Is
Okay.
that right?
Right.
Okay.
I'm kind of going ahead without you because I've done this before, but you
So where
can
am I
see.
at
So
now?
once you know, I've just completed the armhole.
Okay, so I'm in side seam then.
Uh huh.
To the right of D, measure 1/4 of the total waist measurement plus the width of the waist dart minus 1/4 inch. Mark E.
Okay, so I've got to find 1/4 of the waist measurement,
To the right of B, measure 1/4 of the total waist measurement
which is 6
plus the width of the waist dart
which was 1.5, 7.5,
minus 1/4 inch.
7.25. So that's what I'm marking.
Yes, and you're gonna mark it EE.
Okay. 7.25. EE.
You're gonna draw a vertical dotted line from EE to IJ to the IJ line.
Vertical dotted line.
To
And
IJ.
so I'm just gonna okay. What's
Measure
next?
the length of VQ line on the front section of the block.
So I'm gonna measure this line, but I've also got to. Do I have to measure it with the dart closed? It just says measure.
Just says measure the length of VQ line on the
Okay.
front section of the block.
Okay, so VQ is like is almost a 7.5 almost there. So I have to mark that over here. What do I do now?
Place the ruler
Oh,
with one end.
I'm sorry. This is the line they're asking for. The VQ line. That makes
measure
better
the length
sense.
of the VQ line.
That's 6.5. So now what are we doing?
Place the ruler with one end on the top of the bust dart where it meets the EF line. Angle the ruler towards the vertical dotted line. Just
Okay.
draw.
That is I'm sorry. This is the top of the bust dart, and I think this line was 6.5, wasn't it? Yeah. Top of the bust dart right here, and then I got to make it be 6.5. Right there actually, to meet that dotted line. So I made a little mistake. I went a little too high. It's right here. Okay. What else?
Where the VQ line measurement crosses the dotted line, mark FF.
Okay.
Draw a straight line from the top of the bust dart where it meets the EF line to FF.
Okay.
This is the side seam.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Curve slightly as shown in figure
That's
2.
because you want to curve this. You don't want points, remember? So you're just going to have to adjust that there.
Measure the distance from EE to FF.
Where's my EE? Oh, okay.
Measure the same distance up from B on the AB line and mark GG.
Okay.
So whatever distance from
Right.
EE
And so
to FF.
it's going to make a line that goes like this, right? GG. And then you make it a line that's your waistline, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You connect the GG and FF for waistline.
Okay.
It says to the left of FF, measure in half the distance between FF and GG plus a 3/4 of an inch mark.
That's like 7.5. So you're going to measure in from GG or FF?
Measure to the left of FF, measure in half the distance between FF and GG.
3 5/8. Okay.
And then you add 3/4 of an inch to that mark.
1/7 inch. Wow. Okay. So 3/4, and that is 5/8 and 3/8. My math isn't working here. It's 4 and okay, got it. It's that mark.
Draw a vertical line from this mark to the IJ line. This is the center line of the back waist dart.
Okay.
To each side of the center line from the back waist dart, measure out half the width of the dart and mark.
What's the dart width? Is that the back? Is that a special measurement?
Center of line of the back waist dart.
Oh, I think it's the same as the other? It can't be the same as the other. Usually it's like a 1/2 inch or something like that. It's not much. Is it telling you anything? Read it again. I'm sorry.
Okay. After we draw the vertical line, to mark as IJ, this is the center line of the back waist dart. Each side of the center line of the back waist dart, to each side of the center line of the back waist dart, measure out half the width of the dart and mark.
I don't know what the width is. Can you see the page before? No, it's putting me out. Okay. I'm going to have to figure out. It's really not telling you what that is?
No. To each side of the center line of the back waist dart. So each side
Okay,
of that,
well, it's,
measure out half the width of the
okay,
dart.
maybe they're just talking about, well, I'm gonna do 5/8. It's an 1.5 inch, right? So 1.5 inch. Oh, 5/8 and 5/8 is 1.25 inches. That's not right. 3/4 of an inch. And 3/4 of an inch is 1.5 inches. Okay. So it just tells you to draw these lines up to this point.
Connect these marks with
Oh.
straight lines to the point of the waist dart,
Okay.
which rests on the IJ line.
All right. Is it making you do a shoulder dart? No.
No, it just goes
Okay.
to
There's a 1/2 inch ease included in the shoulder dart. So we can just mark this bodice back, and we're done. And then we can cut these two pieces out and start using them. And I reminded you guys before, but I'm going to tell you one more time. This pattern does not have seam allowance. So you're going to cut this out. You're going to get your scissors and cut around them. And we're done. We're done with this.
So stop it.
I think we can stop it.